Hi, I'm Tony Spine, host at Christmas Tree Farm. We're about a month away from opening, so we've kind of changed from our tree production to getting ready to retail. So I thought I'd do a little video and kind of walk around and let you know what's going on. So why don't you follow along? All right. So as I talked about, it's kind of middle of October right now, and we had kind of switched gears to getting ready for the season. As you've been following along in the past, you know that over here is kind of our welcome area. It'll get full of the boards and have all the information that we provide the customers as they head out. We really gave this some thought because obviously Dad and I know how we want them all to travel. The greeter may not. So we've tried to think of all the questions and give them all the answers on the board before they come and get us. So as you're kind of following me behind, you walk through, you see the greeter, the wagon loading is right ahead. Saws are on the right. Right now, all the kid toys are kind of over on the side here. They'll get moved kind of behind me in the tot lot. We have our picnic tables. Dad put a fresh coat of paint on those. And they kind of get, spread out in this area next to the fire pit. That's always going while we're selling. People like, one thing we've done is we will trim the stumps up a little bit, right? If we have a tree that doesn't look as nice, we'll cut the bottoms up, really give it a high stump. And, later in the year, we'll come out and we'll cut that stump and it'll be this big. Look at that, perfect size for our fire pit. So save those for the next year. We'll put the benches next to the fire pit. Dad made some outside standing tables this year, so he wanted to try that. Little bit of news with me. I actually hurt my back late last month, and I herniated a disc. So I am trying not to have surgery. I'm going to get injections pretty soon. See if that helps with some of the pain, but I'm kind of taking the opportunity to do some stuff inside the kitchen that I've been wanting to do. I want to get a little more food in there, so I want to do that this year. One thing that hurts is my plan was to do more with pre-cuts this year, but because of my back situation, I don't really think that's going to happen. So to the right here, we see we're getting our tot lot together. We'll pound them in the stakes, and we have our little pre-cut kitty trees here. Play area, all those plastic toys will kind of live right here. And again, this whole empty space was going to be my pre-cut lot, but we'll see if I can get to it. Maybe I'll get some of our hired help that first weekend. We'll get some trees in here. At least we'll have something. All right, as we walk up this way, we know this is our tree processing area where the shaker and baler is going to go. Wagons pull up here, they unload, and the trees get processed. The building ahead of me right here is our pay booth, so this is where the cashier is for the tree. The building over here is for our workers and warming hut, where all the extra twine is, all the tools guys eat. It's warm in there, staying out of the weather. We'll do what we can. So what's kind of left? One more lawn mowing. Gonna cut the grass one more time. And yeah, I think Dad's gonna do that this week. We got our shakers and balers started up. We winterize those every year. They started actually first pull. It's fantastic. What else? I'll show you something. One thing that I also need to work on is, and we're going to try it this year, is structuring people how to park, right? We have a very large parking lot, right? We have probably an acre here, and then we have another acre. Let's see if I can get it to follow me. Another acre on the other side of that telephone pole. Another acre. Wow. see if I can just show you. Another acre that's just out here. So we have a lot of parking that's available, but it's not set up in a nice way where, you know, with lines and rows and everything. So it gets a little chaotic. Some people kind of parked along the driveway there, not ideal. So what we did this year, so I got to walk to the other end of the parking lot, is we made like a temporary fence. And what this is, it's kind of a cinder block, and we put a 4x4 in it, and maybe, you know, 3-4 feet. I'll show you once we get there. And we're hoping this can kind of set the center row. So we have parking along the fence on this side, and parking in the center, and then parking along the road. So we could, got plenty of parking, basically. People can come with their trailers inside the middle, and kind of on the ends we have good space for that. So good organized parking is the goal. Here we are at our temporary fence. So again, 4x4, concreted in, made a little, you know, kind of saddle so we can put these boards in. But hopefully with this, we can keep the cars staying in the lane, park in the center. What we'll do is we'll get our employees to kind of set some of the first rows and the example. We put some more gravel down this year. It was getting muddy, so we needed to do something. Added this. If we had $1 million, I'd do the whole parking lot, but you know, I don't, so not yet. So yeah, you know, just getting ready. I'm sure you guys are all getting ready too. So hopefully everyone has a great season in Michigan. I'm outside of Metro Detroit. I'm curious how the UAW strike, which is now a little over a month in, how that's gonna play out. So we'll see how that happens. If, you know, people might be saving some money here. We added, you know, another stand. Stand is going to hold some toy soldiers, so that kind of walk in the barn in there. We'll take you to the new tree fields. So if you've, you know, been following along, you know that we use that snow fence, and we physically rope off our fields and, you know, reserve them for next year. So this field was planted in 2014, and it will be one of the ones that we are going to open up this year. So in here is our Canaan and some Korean that we'll have available this year. Last year we opened up this section right here and this section right here, and these were our balsam and Korean. We had some tall Koreans, so those will be available this year for the year 2. Here's our Korean field. And also last year we roped off what's on the other side of this road right here. So here's our road, and that orange fence was right splitting this field in half. This was planted a year later, so this was planted in 2014. This half was planted in 2013. So this is going to be the new field that's open. These are our balsam fir. This is where that tall tree experiment is. Actually, someone came out and wanted a tall tree and actually tagged that exact tree, so we can see that here. Also, for the first time this year, we are going to be opening up some grand fir that are ready. Obviously, looking at them, you can see there is quite a height difference between our grand and our balsam fir. So not as tall, they grew a little slower, and that's why they're in my exotic field now. But yeah, they'll be available this year. Over here we see we're getting ready to rope off this field with our orange fence, we don't want anyone cutting out of here. These trees were planted in, would be 2015, and some in 2016. So we're saving these for next year. And that orange fencing works very well for keeping people out and really controlling how customers are, where they're taking your trees from. You know, if you're interplanting, you probably don't care, but we block plant. So we want to, it's kind of our strategy is to show, have a new field of trees every year. So let's take a, go look at the concolor that we'll have. Last year we split, again, this field we're coming up to in half. Basically right between the full row here. On the left-hand side we opened last year. The right-hand side we're going to open up this year. This field is full of concolor, and that's all that there is. A couple years ago we opened up this field, and half of it is concolor and half of it is Canaan. So my plan was to completely clear cut this field because we need it to plant. I was going to cut it down and bring them up as pre-cuts, but because of my back, that's not going to happen. So I may, like I said, I may get a couple guys to help do the work for me, but it's not a huge priority for me. Now let's fly over to our spruce that we'll have available. Having a drone is pretty nice. Check out how the trees are looking, do these videos. And I was debating on buying a drone, right? I couldn't justify kind of spending the money on a drone. But when I started the YouTube channel, my dad kind of started really enjoying it. And he said we should, as we take pictures of the trees every year and update our website, he's like, we should video our trees. We should take videos of it, and really show them. And with that, I said, yep, we should get a drone. So now we got it. All right. So here are our spruce field that we're going to open up this year. We have Colorado Blues, Black Hill, and we do have the Serbians. This is where the white pine wheel, I took a big chunk out of them, and where we see the rope is we start, that's where we're going to rope off for next year. We marched down this field edge planting. We are only planting 300-400 spruce a year, so we just kind of made real long rows. And again, we have blues and Black Hills. You can see them kind of alternating every year. So that's our strategy for that. We're just going to march them on down, showing them a new field every year, kind of putting the trees that were open the previous year on sale. So with that, we're going to walk over to this side where our spruce that we opened up last year are, and we're going to mark these down. Our normal spruce rate is $10 a foot. These will go down maybe $7-8 a foot. So kind of hopefully you get your customers to take your trees and you're not having to deal with them. So deal with them being, dispose of them when they're done. So with that, that's the trees. And yeah, we're just getting ready here. So like I said, a month away from opening, and it'll be great. So yeah, a lot of signs still to put up. We got the tot lot signs, we have the tree height signs, we have the whole welcome board to get together, but it's coming along. And yeah, all right, well, I think that does it, and thanks for watching.